Shalom, this is Joel with Beit Lechem Farms. It's been a while since we've put up a video, but I just wanted to show you this real quickly. This is something very important to organic farming, and as you can see, I've kind of stirred up a little bit. You can see some worms in here. There. What this is actually cow manure, and so I have California red worms in here. You can see there. Okay. And these worms, what they do is they take this cow manure and they reduce it down, or they eat it and they convert it into humus, which is really good to start seeds in, as well as a good organic fertilizer for your plants. So I just basically feed the worms about once every 2 weeks, and then I get a good bit of fertilizer from the worms, converting the cow manure into organic worm castings. I've actually planted, they just came up about a week ago, and what I have here is I actually have, in this raised bed, I have some string beans. So we're going to be eating some nice string beans here in a little bit. And I'm just basically going to take the worm castings and I'm going to do what I just said, get a handful and then place it around the roots of each plant, and that way you're not overfeeding your plants as well as wasting your valuable worm castings. So here, what I have in the wheelbarrow, this is actually the worm castings when it's the finished product. So all of this is fertilizer. And what you do, you don't actually just take this and dump it into your garden or into where you're going to plant your plants and till it in. What you do is you take like a handful, you just reach in there and grab a handful and then take and kind of clean out around the roots of your plant gingerly, and then place that ball of this worm castings in there and then cover it back up. Your plant roots will actually go over into this fertilizer, so you don't have to worry about like spreading it. So here we are, actually 5 days after we've applied the fertilizer, and you can actually tell the difference the fertilizer has made from the previous video. So I just wanted to add this to the video to show you how, I think I mentioned in the previous part of this video that this fertilizer was like steroids, for the plants, and you can actually see here the difference, that it's just made in like five days, of applying this fertilizer. So it's very good. It's awesome. Excuse me. It's awesome, and it's very easy to, there's not a lot of work involved in it, and just the results that you get from it are just, are amazing. And the worms, they multiply themselves. They don't they don't like get sick or anything like that, and they reproduce like crazy. Like every worm, I believe, gives like 3 eggs a month, and inside of those eggs there's like 20 babies. So you don't have an issue of reproduction. And then there's just so many benefits from this, from doing the worm castings, that it's a no-brainer. And you can actually get these worms in the States. Just look up California Reds, and that's the worms that you want. And I'm sure if you live close to any dairy farms or any places that have cows or horse manure, would work as well. And even if you don't have those things, access to those things, then what you can do is you can take newspaper and just kind of dampen newspaper and cut it up in small little strips and put the newspaper in there. And that's food for the worms as well. And they turn that into humus. And another option is, if you're a big salad eater or you know, like you buy cauliflower and it's got the leaves, the green leaves around it, or broccoli with the green leaves. Anything that is leafy, that is like not a hard leaf, like banana peelings, you wouldn't want to put that in there because it's going to take them a long time to break it down. But anything like lettuce leaves or cabbage leaves, the leaves on broccoli, things like that, any leafy substance, then those worms will take that and they will break it down and turn it into something that is just awesome, that you can just use like crazy. And you know, about every 2 weeks is when I apply I apply this fertilizer about once every 2 weeks. So here in a week or so, I'm getting ready to put some more in the ground, and this is the kind of plants that it produces. And also you can notice that these plants are kind of big now, and there's no bug bites on them, which I do in a previous video. I do have on my website there that where I made an organic insect repellent, but I haven't sprayed any of these plants with any insect repellent yet. Now there's a bite here and a bite there, you know, on some of these plants, but for the most part I would say 95% of these plants don't even have one bite mark, you know, on them. And why is that? Well, it's just like with our bodies, you know, when we're super healthy, when we're getting the vitamins and the nutrients and the minerals and everything that we're supposed to have to make our body function, then we're not susceptible to disease. We're not susceptible to, you know, to the things that makes us sick, because we have healthy immune systems, healthy healthy bodies that actually fight against those things. And so here you see an example of that, the natural revealing the spiritual. And just as our bodies, you know, spiritually, just as when we're nourishing our bodies spiritually, when we're taking in the word of the creator of the universe, when we're living our lives according to how he has commanded us to live, then we have strong, healthy bodies, and sin doesn't infect us and begin to tear our bodies down and begin to bring death and destruction and just chaos to our lives. So hopefully this has been a blessing to you and an encouragement. If you need more information about California Reds or doing worm composting, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to share more information with you. There's a little more to it, you know, as far as feeding and how you take out the fertilizer and things like that. But it's not hard at all. And plus, there's tons of information on the internet, so you can just Google that as well. So thank you for tuning in. This is Joel Sanchez with Crucified Life Ministries, coming to you from Beit Lechem Farm. Blessings and shalom.